Hello and welcome to my video explaining the apparent Fallout TV series retcons to the already established canon lore. There are spoilers ahead. But first, a message from me. I am aware of the comments and issues people had with my last video, titled Fallout Biggest Problem. Many people thought in that video that I was talking about the apparent retcons and I was shitting on the Fallout canon. Some even came to the conclusion without even watching the video and just commenting about the retcons. I understand that, like me, fans have constantly misinterpreted the plot of the show, and the changes and ways the show expands on already established lore. The first good example of this is the Pip Boy light. In the games where a Pip Boy light can be used, you hold the button you use for the Pip Boy for a few seconds, which would act as a flashlight. In the games where this is present, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76, the screen would just brighten and cause the flashlight effect. However, in the show, they use the Pip Boy flashlight differently. Instead, the Pip Boy has a physical light source that acts as a flashlight. This doesn't mean that the Pip Boy flashlight in the games is not canon, but instead the writers of the show, and possibly also Bethesda, realised that the method from the games doesn't make sense for the technology and realism. In real life, mobile phones' flashlights are separate from the device. Having a flashlight like the one from the show wouldn't make any sense from a gameplay perspective either. If the player had to constantly point out their arm in front when using the flashlight, two-handed guns wouldn't work. If you need to use a rifle and flashlight at the same time, that would not work. So, not a retcon. Next is the ghoul vials. Ghouls don't exist in real life, obviously. Radaway doesn't exist in real life either. To be honest with you, real life radiation poisoning is pretty much a death sentence in real life, and working cures and prevention methods are not readily available from the supermarkets. In Fallout, Radaway is pretty much an instant cure for radiation sickness. This makes sense because in Fallout, the resource wars forced the US to use nuclear power for pretty much everything, and nuclear power is nothing if not unstable. So if everything in your house and your car was powered by something that could kill you in a few hours, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want readily available radiation poisoning cures. In the Fallout games, ghouls will randomly go feral for no reason. Some do and turn fast, and some just don't or haven't yet. So the Radaway makes sense. In the show, Cooper Howard, when compared to Raj, another ghoul, we see Cooper being way better looking than Raj. Raj's skin is peeling and he looks far worse for wear than Cooper. Raj is going feral because he doesn't have any Radaway, and Cooper has Radaway, so isn't going feral. So not a retcon. Why are the Brotherhood of Steel so weak in the show? The Brotherhood of Steel in the show are shown to be based in two locations, the airfield and the junk camp. This one is easy to explain. They are a chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel and not the main force. This is even told to us indirectly by the presence of the airship at the airfield base. This isn't a retcon, this is just something I thought about when watching the show. What happened to the NCR? So this is one of the biggest quote-unquote retcons that people are crying about the most. The NCR was nuked by Hank and Betty during the time that Lucy was living in Shady Sands. During a scene with Betty and Norm having a conversation about Norm and Lucy's mother's Pip Boy and where it went after she died, in which Betty replies it was buried with her. And when Norm says, "How do you know?" Betty says, "Because I buried her, me and your father." We buried her in this case means Betty was involved with the nuking of Shady Sands. The NCR, however, did not only exist in Shady Sands. Shady Sands was just the capital city of the NCR, and on the billboard it says the first capital of the NCR, which could mean that there is more capitals. Maximus saying they were destroyed could just mean that the NCR to him was destroyed because he hasn't seen them for a long time, at least since he was a child. The NCR in Fallout New Vegas, which by the way, Fallout New Vegas is canon, which has been confirmed by Bethesda directly. Anyway, the NCR and Fallout New Vegas were entrenched in the Mojave more than any other faction. They were present in many locations with strong military force and command structures, including New Vegas, Camp McCarran, Trading Post 188, Hoover Dam, Camp Golf, Mojave Outpost, and Helios 1. They had more territory in the Mojave than any other faction. If their capital city was destroyed, they probably would have bounced back. Depending on the canon ending for Fallout New Vegas, they wouldn't have needed to, if they won the second battle for Hoover Dam, so the NCR probably still exists in the Mojave in some state. They wouldn't have just brought them up just to kill them off. So, not a retcon. Mr. House and New Vegas. Mr. House was present in the Vault-Tec meeting in episode 8 of the show, where he was told, just like many other big company CEOs, the Vault-Tec would drop bombs. However, in the game, Mr. House deems it a mathematical certainty that they will drop soon. This can be explained by Mr. House being a cocky asshole.
By 2065, I deemed it a mathematical certainty that an unjustified war would devastate the Earth within 15 years. Every projection I ran confirmed it. I knew I couldn't save the world, nor did I care to, but I could save Vegas, and in the process, perhaps save mankind. I set to work immediately. I thought I had plenty of time to prepare. As it turned out, I was 20 hours short.
He is smart, so to get to the courier on his side and provide a solid reason why he should own New Vegas is because he saved it, in which he did, despite the fact that Vault-Tec told him the war was going to happen. Mr. House's story about the war remains unchanged, despite the fact that he predicted it. Mr. House has been told about the war and decides to save New Vegas and himself. So he creates his missile defense system and his mainframe to keep himself alive and save the world all by himself, so not a retcon. To end, a quick message to a small amount of the Fallout fans. Please shut the fuck up. This is not to all Fallout fans, but specifically those who harass people about Fallout lore and cry about it on social media. Misinterpretations and mistakes will arise from time to time, and things change. Trying to keep a franchise's 25 years of lore consistent is hard, so please be quiet and keep your opinions to yourself. Also, we got a fully fledged TV series based on our favourite franchise that for once hasn't been completely butchered. Please just enjoy that and go back to playing Fallout New Vegas with your 8 terabytes of boob textures and pregnant companions, and leave the rest of us in peace. That's all I'm going to be covering today, but if you enjoyed, subscribe and comment if you think I got anything wrong. A lot of this video is filled with speculation and theory, and I obviously do not work at Bethesda or Amazon Prime, so I will be probably getting a lot of this wrong in this video, so feedback is appreciated. I hope you are all enjoying my shifting content from Fortnite for a bit while I talk about Fallout lore. Also, Bethesda and Amazon, if you're watching, please feature Good Springs in Season 2. That's all for now.